Have you ever wondered why most people struggle with finances? Or are you frequently short on money, underemployed, or always crawling out of a deficit? Well, in this video, you will be surprised that many of these problems aren't really money problems at all. But before I tell you why, first things first. Why should you even care about these money problems? Or rather, why should you even take your time to watch this video? The answer is simple. If you really want to get better with money to improve many different aspects of your life, then you should stick to the end, because in the end, you will become a master and not a slave of money. This is important because I'm sure most of you will agree with me that it's a fact that money makes the world go round. It can make the impossible possible and the unimaginable real. And in the world of business, money is the prime force behind the movers and shakers of mega deals, mergers and breakups. Money can match the mismatched, fix, and even change roles. Also, as humans, we have a complicated relationship with money. We need it to survive. And we can become unhappy if we don't have enough of it to pay our bills, or when we use it to fill an emotional need or fix a problem. But one important thing to remember, and let it stick in your head. You must understand that money is a tool that has to be used wisely. Therefore, getting to the emotional root of your money problems can be the key to getting the clarity you need to make major changes. Perhaps it's not that you're not good with money, but rather it could be one of the reasons that I'll be sharing in this video. So let's dig deeper into the psychology of money problems. Well, according to experts, money disorders greatly contribute to our growing debt. Unfortunately, these money disorders are more common than you may think, and they can be the result of other underlying issues. So, the three big disorders include money-worshipping disorders, relational money disorders, and money avoidance. We'll start with money-worshipping disorders. So, what do we mean by this? This is when someone equates spending money with a sense of happiness or connection, and most money worshippers may be compulsive hoarders, an unreasonable risk-taker, compulsive buyer or overspender, or a workaholic, or generally someone who stays busy all the time. But before you allow guilt to creep in, note that this is not entirely your fault, because our minds want freedom and money gives freedom. But what most people don't understand is that the only freedom that money gives is financial freedom, nothing else. You need to remember, money is a need to an end and not the end of your need. And if money is everything to you, you also need to remember it changes in value and won't ever be able to satisfy human needs of love, self-respect, and becoming the best person you can. Of course, I know and understand that you will have more satisfaction with your life, possibly, if you have more money. But the problem with this is that if you consider money as an essential tool needed to achieve your needs, money problems start to creep in. And this explains why most people are in some way controlled by what they worship, not in control of what they worship. So the question is, how do you solve this problem? As a financial expert, this is the best advice I can give you. You can acquire money, and if you are smart with how you use it, money will make more money for you. And this is not worshipping money. It is using it to create more money. This way you are able to control your money, not letting it control you. And the best news that I can give you for free is that this is why this channel was created, to help people know how to take control of money by using it as a tool to make more money. So be sure to subscribe so that you can take over your life once and for all. One thing that I will keep on insisting is that money is not the problem, and also being aware of its amazing potential is not a problem, but the problem comes when you forget it is a means and not the end. While we are on this topic, maybe I should also mention that you may be sinking deep into this disorder if 1. You view money as a measure of self-worth, and 2. You have low self-esteem. If you view money as a measure of self-worth, then this means that self-worth is closely tied to your financial success. You tend to believe that your value as a person is determined by your bank account balance. This mindset can result in constant striving for more wealth, even at the expense of other important aspects of life such as relationships and health. On the other hand, if you have low self-esteem, which means that if you don't feel good about yourself, you may turn to worshipping money and maybe use it to buy stuff to feel better or feel more worthy. So enough with money worshipping, and let's dive into the second money disorder, and that is money avoidance disorder. So what does money avoidance disorder mean? This involves a systematic rejection or avoidance of money. These disorders stem from scripts that equate money with negative emotions or painful events. And most people who suffer from these beliefs that money is the root of all evil. People who are in financial denial avoid thinking and talking about money issues, and some might reject thinking about money because they believe it's inherently bad. Others are excessively worried about risk, so they don't trust anyone else with their money, while some might believe that money is an extravagance and they shouldn't spend it on themselves. So let me break down the categories of these money avoidance disorders. First, we'll start with financial denial. These are people who try to minimize their money problems or try to avoid thinking about them altogether rather than face their financial reality. Common signs of these disorders are when you fail to look at bank or credit card statements, don't communicate with your partner about money, and you tend to avoid savings or accumulating wealth. And in almost all cases, this behavior will typically lead to late fees, overdraft charges, and large amounts of debt. Second category is excessive risk aversion. This is an irrational unwillingness to take any risks with one's money. So if you have this disorder, you will find that you typically react to any financial risk with enormous anxiety. And this can be excessive to a point that putting money in the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation insured savings account doesn't seem safe, because you would rather not do anything than lose something. Thirdly, we have those who are in the financial rejection category. These are people who feel guilty about having money. They commonly feel that they are unworthy or undeserving of anything good in life, including money. This rejection of money can express itself in several forms, such as taking an unconscious vow of poverty or simply avoiding the acquisition of wealth. Fourthly, we have the underspender category. These are people who keep themselves emotionally poor by refusing to use and enjoy what they have. Typically, spending less than you earn is considered positive behavior, but when it's done to the extreme, it is classified as self-destructive financial behavior. Underspending is often based on irrational subconscious feelings of fear or anxiety, a compulsive need to be self-sacrificing, or a sense of guilt. If you fall under any of these categories, it is imperative that you work towards a comprehensive alteration of your thoughts, feelings, and habits with money. And sometimes, the roots of these problems may be in one of the following. 1. You might be having a scarcity mindset. If you have watched our previous video, then you already know what I'm talking about. But if not, I'll summarize, but later on feel free to go to our playlist to watch the video on money mastery. I give you all the information for free, so it's up to you to decide whether you want to better yourself or not. So back to the scarcity mindset. This is one common mindset, whereby you often feel that there is never enough money to go around and will always find yourself worrying about running out of money, even if they have a comfortable income. This mindset can lead to excessive frugality, hoarding, and a reluctance to invest or take calculated financial risks. And for some people, they rather have money sitting in the bank but never get to enjoy the money they have. 2. The other root of the money problem may be unprocessed trauma. These unprocessed traumas can be as a result of either of the following: financial problems that most people experience, such as job loss, inflation, difficulty in saving money, and working against systemic issues. So this disorder lies in how people handle the stress that comes from those financial problems, and to add salt into the wound, when there's added layer of other traumas, such as the loss of a loved one, a divorce, or illness, it complicates these financial issues and how the person shows up in your life. While on this topic, it is also very important to mention that your family and childhood influences never end. And these influences may be the root of some of these money problems and disorders, because every family has its own particular psychology of money. For example, what can be talked about, who should be in control, what money responsibilities are assigned to what gender, how important money is or is not, and so much more. Additionally, there are always stories about money that are part of a family's identity, like maybe you have a serial entrepreneur grandfather who lost the family fortune, which may end up sparking excessive conservatism in subsequent generations. Or other common examples may be, your parents or caregivers weren't good with money, they may messed up or spent carelessly, never prepared for emergencies. Or maybe you saw how your parents believed every financial investment was their big break and went all in only to be disappointed time and again. These experiences may end up being money disorders because we are destined to repeat the mistakes we've seen others around us make. Fortunately, I will tell you that if you are experiencing money problems because of these things, try to make different choices. The trick is to reorient your perspective and have the courage to start or carry on looking for other ways to make different choices. The key to halting the habit of following in others' footsteps is to recognize what's happening and understand that you're not doomed to repeat the same money mistakes. Like, for example, you could prepare a budget and stick to it to prevent careless money habits, or start that emergency fund today. This takes us to the next money disorder, and that is number 3, relational money disorders. Relationships with others are at the core of this disorder. This can be divided into 3 categories, and that is financial infidelity, financial enabling, and financial dependence. Whereby financial infidelity is when you always try to hide your spending from someone else, like a partner, because you feel guilty. This can include things like hiding debt, hiding big purchases, and lying about income, or one partner may be contributing less than their agreed upon share to a joint account. On the other hand, financial enabling is when you don't hold others financially responsible because you fear their rejection. And finally, financial dependence is when one person relies on someone else to take care of their money problems. While we all want to help our loved ones and friends, especially during a particularly turbulent time in their lives, there's a point where our help is actually more destructive than beneficial in the long run. One particular area in which our assistance actually negatively affects our family and friends is when we enable others' bad financial behaviors. Financial enablers are typically financially stable individuals who tend to feel guilty about their wealth, especially when they see their loved ones or friends are struggling financially. However, some financial enablers live on the brink of bankruptcy, but feel guilty if they don't help others with what little they may have. Financial enabling can occur in any relationship, but it most commonly surfaces between parents and their adult children. Some warning signs include: you're struggling financially, but you give money away even though you can't afford it, or you give money so often to your loved one or friend who no longer tries to support themselves. So enough with the money disorders, and let's look at the best proven ways that I have seen and used to help solve most money problems. I highly recommend that you try to have a balanced money mindset. This works like a charm. A balanced money mindset involves a healthy relationship with money. And if you have this mindset, you will find that it is easy to view money as a tool for achieving your goals and priorities, without letting it define your self-worth or control your life. But most importantly, you will understand the importance of both saving and spending wisely. Also, make sure you take your time to think about why you feel and behave the way you do when it comes to money. This can be eye-opening and lead to better decision-making and fewer impulse buys. Asking yourself these questions could help you tap into your understanding of your financial psychology and help you challenge and change your money scripts or beliefs about money. Just remember that money doesn't buy happiness, but how you think about money can. All the best, folks.